morning friends, this is Yagyadev and I am presenting the current affair for the month of August for Empower IAS. So we were discussing about the various news which makes the headline in the month of August 2021 for the UPSC prelims as well as mains point of view. So in the news we see that there was a Viacom Satyagraha in Kerala by Iswa community Sri Narayan Guru Dharm Paripalana. So Sri Narayan Dharm Guru was a social reformer as he faced many kind of discriminations from various upper caste in the society. He started revolt against the upper caste by doing backward emancipation and he started temple entry movement, he started Viacom Satyagraha as well as he started consecration of Shiva temple. So let us look about Sri Narayan Dharm Guru. He was born on 22nd August 1856 in Iswa community in Kerala, in Channapanji village in Kerala. So Narayan Dharm Guru का जन्म चन्नापंजी गांव में केरल में हुआ था and he was one of the social reformer. So he started feeling experiences of discrimination from the upper caste of society. So he started temple entry movement. He started temple entry and Viacom Satyagraha. So on 23rd August of every year we celebrate Viacom Satyagraha in the name of Sri Narayan Dharm Guru Jayanti. So this is celebrated. So he preaches the philosophy of social equality, education for all and spiritual enlightenment for every sections of the society. Now what is the significance contribution in the society? So Narayan Dharm Guru preached one caste, one religion, one God for all. In Tamil we say Oru Jati, Oru Matham, Oru Daivam, Manushyanum. एक भगवान, एक धर्म और सभी मनुष्यों के लिए एक समान व्यवस्था. So in 1888 Narayan Guru preached the consecrated first temple of Lord Shiva and in a Arupuyam village of Kerala in which he staged anti-caste revolution. So he put the backward caste of society to revolt against the upper caste elites or the Brahmins of Kallavan code which were discriminating against the Narayan Dharm Guru. So friends, we were discussing about how Sri Narayan Guru Dharm Paripalana society was started in Kerala by Ijwa community which were facing discrimination by the upper caste Brahmins and they started temple entry movement. So in temple entry movement they started entering the various kind of temple present in the locality and Swami Narayan put forth the various mirrors inside the temple. स्वामी नारायण गुरु ने मंदिरों में जाकर के शीशे लगाने शुरू किए, मिरर्स, जहाँ पे भगवान का चेहरा और मनुष्य को अपना दर्शन स्वयं होता है. सो ही बिलीव दैट देयर इज अ गॉड इनसाइड द मैन एंड विच शुड बी वर्शिप्ड बाय हिमसेल्फ. सो ही केप्ट मिरर इंस्टीड ऑफ आइडल्स. उन्होंने मूर्तियों की जगह पे आइडल्स लगाए. फर्दर ही एस्टैब्लिश्ड 40 temples by himself in order to make the backward society people to enter the temple, and he establishes Sri Narayan Dharma Paripalana Yogam as the founded as the president of that society in order to make the backward society people to enter into the temple, worship the deity and do all kind of sacred worships by themselves. He started such movement. So 40 temples across the states was established by Narayan Dharm Guru. Now next is what the questions that comes from this topic is who started Viacom Satyagraha? Viacom Satyagraha किसने establish किया? And that can be asked in the UPSC mains point of view friends. आप इसे याद रखिए, UPSC में पूछा जा सकता है. The next question, critically analyze the reasons behind Atmopadesh Shatkam. Atmopadesh Shatkam by Narayan Guru. So critically analyze the reasons, do write it and submit it in the comment box. Now Abner Tagore was in the news as of 150th birth anniversary. Such kind of topics are hot topic for UPSC aspirants because UPSC 100 year celebration या 150वीं वर्षगांठ वाले प्रश्न अपने एग्जाम में डालती है. Now Abner Tagore is the nephew of Rabindranath Tagore. He was a poet, he was a writer, he was a painter and he was a creative thinker. So he take first major step for the Swadeshi values in Indian art. So he represented the Bengal School of Art, and let us look into Abner Tagore. So Abner Tagore बंगाल स्कूल ऑफ आर्ट को रिप्रेजेंट करते थे, यानी बंगाल कला विद्यालय को ये रिप्रेजेंट करते थे. ही प्रेज्ड द फिलॉसफी ऑफ स्वदेशी पेंटिंग and books on the domestic heroes plus poetry, and he also wrote articles. So such a huge kind of knowledgeful and intellectual person was Abner Tagore, a man beyond par intellect. He also painted भारत माता चित्र. उन्होंने भारत माता की पेंटिंग बनाई. He wrote several books and he also published various kind of books in order to develop Indian society. Many poetry were there such as Geetanjali, which was published after his death by his nephew, that is Rabindranath Tagore. So he was first created Indian Society of Oriental Art. Remember this fact for your prelims point of view. भारत की पहली पूर्वोत्तर समाज Oriental Society of Art was created by Abner Tagore. He went to Bengal School of Art and he further believed in Indian art and architecture. That was again very ancient form of art, and that was copied by the Western artists, and they created separate platform for European art. So Indian art was impartial by him. Then spirituality as opposed by the West, which staged on materialism. So he again propelled the philosophy of spiritualism. इन्होंने आध्यात्मिक विचारधारा की दर्शन को बढ़ावा दिया. So his ideas was to consecrate Mughal and Rajput paintings in order to create Indian revival of painting. Indian painting को revive किया by taking Mughal and Rajputana paintings. Further he added the birth of his Bengal School of Art. Further he added the philosophy of Hinduism to look around the integration of works. Further he started integrating Chinese and Japanese calligraphy, very important for your prelims point of view. And he also provided modern pan-India artistic tradition, which led to the elements of Eastern artist and spiritual culture. Remember this fact. Famous painting of Abner Tagore. Abner Tagore जी की प्रसिद्ध कृतियाँ इस प्रकार से हैं. So first painting that makes important news is Bharat Mata painting, passing of Shahjahan in 1900. 1900 में इन्होंने भारत माता पेंटिंग की. Then he painted Shahjahan. Then My Mother 1912, Fairyland Illusion 1913, Journey of Ind 1913. His contribution towards literature was also very important, and he also created most of the literary work for the children. बच्चों के लिए इन्होंने बहुत सारी पुस्तकें, बहुत सारी कविताएं, बहुत सारी पोएट्री लिखी. So in which Budo Angla, Kheri Puttul and Raj Kahini, these were the writings for children. Then William Rothenstein along with Rabindranath Tagore published his book of Geetanjali in English. आप इसे याद रखिए. His book of Geetanjali was published by William Rothenstein और Rabindranath Tagore के द्वारा रचित की गई. He also wrote the most famous work on the Arabian Nights, जो कि अरब देशों के द्वारा इंडिया में जो ट्रेड होते थे उसके बारे में कहानी थी, अरेबियन नाइट ट्रेडिंग्स, नोटेबल वर्क. Now you can see in this picture Bharat Mata, one of the greatest painting of all time by Abner Tagore. Abner Tagore जी की ये कृति आप देख रहे हैं मित्रों, इसमें भारत माता दर्शाई गई हैं. This again makes a very good news for the Indian and Western kind of art. So now another news which makes the headline was the Ranjit Singh and his bronze statue was dismantled by the Pakistani people. So there was again atrocities on minorities in the state of Pakistan. So we look into the details of this news. So Maharaja Ranjit Singh 1718 and 1839 was one of the greatest king of all times from the Hindu and Sikh religion. Maharaja Ranjit Singh was also bought by Hindu, Muslim, Sikh elite in the Lahore state. Further, he was also economically and culturally glorified. He proceeded rule with the religious tolerance for the harmonious communities or Sikhs and others. He also repaired the Lahore fort made by Akbar. Remember this fact for your prelims as well as mains point of view. During the time of Ranjit Singh, the Sikh community was having 12 misl as all. 12 मिसल होती थी मित्रों, जिसमें उन्होंने सारे मिसल को, सारे कड़ियों को जोड़कर एक रिलीजन का निर्माण किया. One religion capital was hosted by Maharaja Ranjit Singh and the philosophy was taken by Sikh Empire after he conquered Lahore in 1799. So he was called as the Lion of Punjab. इन्हें शेर पंजाब की उपाधि दी गई. And now after his accession to the throne, Afghan invasions was totally stopped by various invaders which were invading the India through the ways of Afghanistan. लाहौर में इनके कैपिटल बनाने के बाद अफगान इन्वेजन कम हो गया. He took over the peacock throne by नादिर शाह. पीकॉक थ्रोन इन्होंने देश के पास रखा था. Further, he mouth of the Khyber Pass in Iran and Iraq. He also made the Jamrid took into invading India. Further, he left as sovereign leader of Indian territory at his time of death. भारत में लास्टली जब उनका टाइम खत्म होते गया, then he was only sovereign king at the collapse of the Mughal kings and queens. मुगल एम्पायर के खत्म होने के समय में रंजीत सिंह was alone sovereign leader and a king of that time who was supreme and mighty. He was also having come under the control of East India Company in some way or the other. Now administration comes in the form of large number of European officers by arranging the French general Jean-Francis Allard to his army. रंजीत सिंह ने फ्रेंच जनरल जीन फ्रांसिस एलार्ड को अपनी सेना में शामिल किया, जिससे कि भारतीय सेना की अच्छी प्रकार से ट्रेनिंग हो सके. दैट टेक पार्ट इन द ट्रेनिंग and all the processes of training of the Indian army to a modern level by European General Jean-Paul Allard. His empire included former Mughal province of Lahore and Multan. And Jorawar Singh was a general who captured Jammu in his name. One of the famous general was Jorawar Singh. Then his name is also taken to the Khyber Pass in the northeast, to Panjnad in the southwest, 5 rivers of Punjab which fell into the Indus. पंजाब में पंजल से लेके जम्मू तक उनका नाम एक यूनिफाइड फॉर्म में लिया जाता है और फॉर्मिंग अ सोवरेन टेरिटरी बाय अ हिंदू किंग एंड अ सिख किंग. नेक्स्ट पार्ट इज द मालाबार रिबेलियन बाय मोपला कम्युनिटी. इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज मोपिला रिबेलियन and Mapila Rebellion. So Haji Mastan was one of the famous leader of Mapila Rebellion during that period in which the Mopila revolt was taken. So the basic aim of Mopila Rebellion was to counter the influence of Jamindars and British in the territory of India by Kerala community in the Mopila religion. Now It is the southern parts in which there was a large number of Hindu and Muslim riots taken place during Malabar Rebellion. That is why Indian Council of Historical Research has propounded to remove the name of Haji from the nationalists and revolutionaries. So this is the news. So the history of Polukuttur. Polukuttur एक जगह है, यहाँ पे एक गांव है, आप देख रहे हैं. As you see in the map, Polukuttur is a village in the city of Kerala and which takes in the 1921 rebellion. इस विद्रोह के 100 years हो चुके हैं. That is why it makes important news for UPSC. 100 साल हो चुके हैं इसके लिए ये क्वेश्चन आस्क किया जा सकता है. In the Polukuttur village, which saw crucial battle within Mopla and the British on 26 August 1921, and it is called as the Malabar Rebellion, first using his surname. Now what was the Mapila Rebellion? So in the first time the Mopla revolts were making a series of riots against the British as well as the soldiers of the Jamindars who were taking huge taxes from the villagers. Villagers के द्वारा बहुत ज़्यादा ही टैक्स कलेक्ट किया जा रहा था जमींदारों के द्वारा, जिसके अगेंस्ट में मोपला रिबेलियन वाज स्टार्टेड एंड दे प्रोपाउंडेड द राइज ऑफ द मोपला मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी हु अगेन रिवोल्टेड इन द लीडरशिप ऑफ हाजी मस्तान. Now Gandhi ji along with Shaukat Ali went there on the city of Calicut in August 1920. महात्मा गांधी, शौकत अली एक लीडर थे कांग्रेस के, उनके साथ वहाँ पे जाके इन्होंने रिवोल्ट को शांत करने की बात की. एंड देयर वाज खिलाफत मूवमेंट विच वाज अगेन इन a silent form. Then Gandhi ji also started खिलाफत movement in supporting these Mopila revolutionaries as well as the Khilafat Ottoman Turk of Turkey. So Gandhi ji called for Khilafat community to head off Mahadam, Tangal and Ponampatti village to non-cooperation movement, and most of tenants' grievances were related to security of tenure, high rents, renewal fee and other unfair excitation by the landlords. Remember these facts. Now British government responded with the much aggravated and started quarrel. Then there was a wagon tragedy. What was that tragedy, friends? When the prisoners were being taken to the other location from Mapila, they started revolting against the British soldiers and there was a huge fire leading to death of the total 60 people by the British officials on railway goods wagon. So जो ट्रेन 60 लोगों को ले जा रही थी उन कैदियों की एक साथ हत्या होगी. That is called as wagon tragedy. Again very important for UPSC prelims as well as mains point of view. Now next point is, what is that revolution? So Malabar Rebellion leads to Varikunthanath, Kohamji Haji and Ali Musliar and 387 others engaged in the Mopla Rebellion. So his name is being removed from the dictionary of martyrs by Indian Freedom Struggle, recommended by Indian Council of Historical Research. So dictionary of martyrs carries the name of those revolutionaries who are culminated down during the freedom struggle and who died sacrificing their life fighting against the Britishers. So now the martyrs are not corrected and they are taken in the ICHR. Varikunthanath, Kumhad Haji and Ali Musliar's name is being removed as they are taken to be persuaded in the riots of the South. So इनका नाम दंगे में आने के चलते taken in the disharmony and intolerance purposes, his name is being removed by ICHR society and Ali Musliar and Varikunt Haji, 387 Mopla were killed. Now why this makes the Haji as a hardcore criminal as well as a rioting people of 1921 riot known as Thur Kinnar. So Haji को बोला जाता है Thur Kinnar. That was again a rioter and a part of disharmony. So many of the Mopla martyrs facing trial died in the disease and unnatural causes couldn't be treated as martyrs, so their name is deleted. Now, Hari Singh Nalwa. Who was Hari Singh Nalwa? Hari Singh Nalwa was a part of Maharaja Ranjit Singh's armed forces. He was commander and he commanded a force to remain the governor of Kashmir, Hazara and Peshawar. Hari Singh Nalwa कश्मीर के गवर्नर रहे. उन्होंने कश्मीर, हजारा और पेशावर को कैप्चर किया. He defeated various Afghans and established control over the various regions in the boundary of Afghanistan. He also captured the area belonging from Indus River from Kashmir to Khyber Pass. Khyber Pass तक इन्होंने एरिया को कैप्चर किया and he prevented India from foreign invasion from 1000 AD till 19th century. That means he became very important. Now next point is legacy of Hari Singh Nalwa. So Hari Singh Nalwa was one of the important eminent person and he fought bravely for the Hazars against the Khyber Pass. So Hari Singh Nalwa's century was celebrated in year 2013. In 1807 there was a battle of Kasur now in Pakistan. Then Battle of Attock 1830, Nalwa along with other commanders and Dost Muhammad Khan who also being against the Shah Muhammad of Kabul. Then there was Sikh over Durrani Pathans. Then 1818 Battle of Peshawar was there. Nalwa took control over Jammu and Kashmir. Then in 1813 Nalwa again fought bravely against various people and who were taking part in the revolt. These victories against Afghan made for India. Now next point is that Hari Singh Nalwa was a very brave governor. He captured entire territory of the Indus River to the Khyber Pass and make a holistic government of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Now what are the questions that can be asked by UPSC point of view for mains? Write a note on legacy of Hari Singh Nalwa. Discuss the policies of Ranjit Singh which kept foreign invaders away from India. Write these questions in making introduction, body and conclusion way.